What's up, everyone? Online Pep Coach Alex here with PepCoach.com, continuing on this IG pharmacology series, talking a little bit about the DHTs, mainly Masteron and Primo, a lot of other ones, but I really wanted to focus on those. I've gotten some feedback from these videos. People have really liked that I've added the actual captions and subtitles, and they also want to see more of on the board stuff. So I'll probably throw some things over the screen as I'm talking if I remember to edit that. But let's kind of get into it because the DHTs are kind of misunderstood and I'm not quite sure why. So whether it be from a lack of information or knowledge, I want to go ahead and cover that, as well as to remember that this is not just my opinion. This is literally what they do. This is what is found in the literature. If you actually read and do your research, if you actually talk with pharmaceutical engineers and people that know what they're talking about from a pharmacology side of things, this is all just factual. So none of what I'm about to say is going to be my opinion. I'll get to my opinion, but we're going to focus on the facts first and foremost. So we're looking at DHTs. If you look at DHTs, they all do lower binding proteins. Now, if you look at them as a whole, they are going to have, less of an effect on energy systems. So that means we're gonna have less water retention. You're gonna have almost no estrogen production. In the case of Masteron, it's actually going to have anti-estrogenic effects. Again, just go back and look what it was originally used for. Very, very high in protein-specific expression, which is cool for bodybuilders. And then whenever you see what it does from a neurological activation, which actually drives the nervous system, that's why you see, if you ever work with speed, strength, and power athletes, that's why a lot of them prefer DHTs, plain and simple. Now, if you look at those high androgen levels, that's really what has the greater effect on epinephrine, norepinephrine, catecholamines, and those obviously stimulate muscle tissue, brain tissue. That's, how they work and what makes them so cool. Now, since we have them being very good at expressing protein and having a high effect on neurology and very low water retention, it obviously means that they can do some really cool things depending on the athlete. Now, we do know that they can also help with gut hormones, motor learning. They can increase sex drive. They increase that feel-good feeling. They have the ability to increase insulin sensitivity. They really do a lot of cool things whenever you really break down and look at what these things do. Now, with Masteron and Primobolan, since we covered DHTs as a whole, kind of just the introduction so you guys understand these things. If you look at Masteron and Primo as a whole, when you're comparing the two, you do have the estrogenic side of things with Primobolan, where you can actually allow estrogen levels to raise. You guys know that I'm a big fan of having elevated estrogen levels within a certain parameter. And then if you need actual estrogen management, I would much rather have someone use a Masteron instead of an AI, just because of how they actually work to manage estrogen. So you have those kind of two things combating. So first of all, to make your decision of which one I need to use, pick those first to see what you need to do with estrogen and your programming as a whole. Also, look at what you really, really need. Masteron does kind of push a little bit harder neurologically. It does kind of have a little bit more efficacy for, we'll say, those speed and those strength and power athletes. If you look at Primo, I see that having more of a play on the bodybuilder because it does express protein a little bit better. So when I say a little bit better, it's probably like 25% better in my opinion. Primobolan's going to obviously add 25% more muscle tissue, more lean contractile tissue than Masteron would. But at the same time, just because you have that, don't just automatically pick Primobolan if you're someone who actually needs all the neurological side effects. There's a lot of interplay back and forth. There's a lot of different things that you can really utilize other than these two. But those are the main DHTs that I wanted to talk about. Now, people have talked about, and this was actually what spurred the idea to make this video, was combining Masteron and Primo. And I'm a very big fan of this for two specific reasons. One, estrogen. You can't use so much Masteron. Whenever you reach a high amount of Masteron, you're going to run into issues with estrogen. We don't want those levels tanked. So first of all, you can allow estrogen to climb up, but still manage it just a little bit. If you use all Masteron, generally people run into issues if they're taking a high amount. So if estrogen, number one, and two being the price point. Primo is what, double as expensive as Masteron is. So you can save money over time, and then you can actually allow estrogen levels to climb up, but still be somewhat managed over time. You still get the increases in neurology, in low water retention, in protein expression, all that kind of good stuff, and you kind of get the best of both worlds. So I'm going to start going through each kind of family, as Broderick would say, and as he's broken down, because he was the creator of those. Whoever said that they created the family tree before that, they were wrong. Broderick was the first one to create those, and all the credit in the world goes to him. So we're going to go through in another video, break down the 19 NORs, break down the testosterone and all the derivatives, and really just make sure that we're continuing to spread all this good information so people are actually thinking, okay, it's not that, oh, pre-contest we use DHTs and off-season we use 19 NORs. It's no, now it's actually writing the right prescription for what you need. It's looking at, okay, what do I actually need to do in the next, whatever, 8 to 12, 20 weeks, whatever you're planning on doing, then actually filling that prescription with the right tools. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out thepepcoach.com. See you next time.